Good day everyone. So let us tackle about file ownership and file permission. So at first, we need to check in our Linux the available users. So we have Unix and Tony. Then we need to check the available groups. So we have Kali, the G1, and then the Tony, the independent group for each users. So to do our activity, I have created a template for you to follow. So for group 1, group 2, then for the group 3. So for group 1, I have created G1 underscore member 1, G1 underscore member 2, G1 underscore member 3. Okay, then for group 2 and for group 3. Okay, so at first we need to create our group. So to create a group, we need to execute sudo group add. Then the name of the group. Okay. Then group 2, then group 3. So let us check the created group using gitent space group. Okay, so we have successfully created the groups. Okay, so to check the members of the group, we can also specify by this command. There is no available users. Okay, same with group 2 and then for group 3. Okay, so we need to create users for group 1. Okay, so how? So we need to execute sudo add user, then the name of the user, u1 underscore member 1. Okay, the password. Okay, u1 underscore member 1. Okay, yes. Next one, number 2, the password. Number 2, yes. Okay, number 3, number 3, yes. Okay, so now let us check the created users, gitent group users. So we have successfully created the users G1 underscore member 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now to check the members of the group 1, there's no available users. So we need to transfer this G1, or we need to tag the group G1 underscore member 1, 2, and 3 to the group 1. How? So we need to execute sudo, then user mod, then the command eg. Next one is the name of the group, and then the name of the user. Okay, then enter. Okay, same with member 2 and then member 3. Alright, so let us check the group 1. Git space group underscore 1. Okay, now the group 1 has now its own users, while the other groups has no users. So this is the members or the users, then this is the group. Okay, 2 and 3, there is no existing group, but the group 1 has 3 newly created members. Okay, so we are now done in this part. Okay, before we go, let us check its home directory. Okay, the file, okay, for home directory for each users. To check, let us check first where I am now. pwd, okay, at home of Unix. Okay, then we need to change directory backward, then ls list. Okay, sorry, but we need to go to the home, then ls. Okay, so for the home, there is available home for home directory for G1 underscore member 1, G1 underscore member 2, G1 underscore member 3, for Tony, and for Unix. So okay, this is already created as well. This is already done. Then same thing will happen to group 2 and 3. So let's do it. Number 1. I'm sorry. The password. Number 2. Number 1. Yes. So number 2. Number 3. Underscore So successfully created. Given group of users. Okay, so we have these all created users. Okay, to specify, we can also use passwd. Okay, then for group 2, there's no existing users, so we need to add sudo user mod, then group 2, number 1. And then the member 3. Okay, so let us check the members of the group 2. Okay, so successfully created. And then if we want to check the home directory, okay, so now available, this one. So this is okay. Next one for group 3. Add user, then the name of the user, member 3, member 1, G3 Discord member 1. Yes. Okay, member 2, G3 member 2. Yes. Okay, last 1 2 3 1 2 3 G3 number 3. Okay, so let us check the created users. Given group of users, so successfully created. So let us check the members of the group 3. The name of the group 3. There is no existing members, so we need to add user mod ag G3. Okay, then member 1. Okay, member 2, then member 3. So let us check the members of the group 3. Okay, so in this case we have already done in creating members in each group. So now let us check the home directory of each members in group 3. Okay. Okay, so we have these members of the group. Okay, then home directory for members of the group 2. This is the home directory. Okay, same with group 3 members has its own home directory. So let us proceed. Okay, so now let us try to log in and log out. Okay, so what we have done is creating group, and number 2 is creating users. Number 3, adding members in the group. So at this time, let us try to log in, log out. Okay, users in Linux. So currently, the login users or login user in Linux is Unix. If I want to log in Tony, so you need to go to the root, sudo su root. Issue means switch user. Okay, then switch user to Tony. Okay, now I am now successfully logged into Tony. Alright, and this is the home directory of Tony. To proceed, I would like to try to access the home directory of each users. Okay, so if I want to check the list of directory I can see that there is available home directory. So these are home directory of each users. But if we want to check the users created in Linux, we can execute by this command. Okay, so these are the users. Okay, again, these are the users, and these are home directory of users, where all the files are located of each users. Okay, now who am I? Log in this Linux. Tony. I want to try to access the home directory of each created users. For example, ls. I would like to access cd g1 underscore member 1. Change directory to g1 underscore member 1. This one. I want to access these folders or this home directory. It says that bash cd g1 underscore member 1 permission denied. If I put sudo, meaning when we put sudo in the beginning of our command, we are allowing us to enter to a specified folder or directory. So let's see if the owner of the home directory g1 underscore member 1 given us an authority to access its folder. Okay, so it says that sudo cd command not found. Sudo cd is a shell built-in command. Okay, run privilege shell sudo. Okay, so we can't access, but if we try to access the Tony cd Tony, the command allow us to enter in the home directory of Tony, where I am now. Home Tony. Okay, because Tony is the owner of Tony directory. Okay, so let us go back ls to check the available home directory. Unix. So the Unix is the home directory of the Unix user. So let's try to access cd Unix. Permission denied because Tony has no permission to access the Unix directory. Okay, so it means, okay, so let's try Unix. Okay, let's try to log in Unix, because Unix is the default user of the Linux. Sudo user or sudo Unix su root. Okay, then su Unix, or switch user to Unix. We are now in the Unix user. So let us check what directories are available in Linux. So we have 11 home directories of users. So Unix is a sudo default user of this Linux. So now, if Unix trying to access Tony home directory, so let's see if the Unix allows or allowed to enter in the home directory of Tony. Permission denied. So let's see. Sudo. Okay. So Unix does not have an authority or permission to access the Tony home directory. That's the purpose of our discussion for today. So the file ownership and permission. Okay, how we are going to enter or access a file in Linux with permission and ownership. Okay, so if we are given the example of the list of home directory, so let us try to check the permission of each home directory. Okay, all right. So now I do hope that it is visible. So in this case, each of this home directory, okay, let me use the pen. Okay, so this one are the file or home directory. So this is what we call a file. Okay, and this one the size and then the date and time. Okay, so this is date and time, the date. Date. Then this is the size of allocated size. Okay, then this one are the ownership specified for file ownership. Okay, ownership. Then this one for file permission. Okay, so if we go deeper, okay, this column is for a group, and this column is for the owner or the user. So the owner or what they call users. Okay, so let us talk about later about permission. Let us first discuss the file ownership. So this one again for the group, and this one is for the owner or the user. The owner of the file. Okay? Corresponding in the row. Okay? So, that's the reason why there is what we call design template for this activity. How can Tony, this one, the user or the owner of Tony is the has the ownership to Tony file or directory and a group. Okay, how can Tony can access the Unix home directory, and how come Unix user can access Tony? Let's talk about these two users. Later we will tackle about the other users. Okay, this one. So now let us first check who are the sudo. What is sudo? Sudo is a group of super users. So let us check. Gtent gtent group of sudo. The command tells us that the available users that has the super users. So we have Unix and Tony. Okay, so it means that these two users has a sudo permission. As you can see, telling you, I have as I've told you a while ago that this column is for group ownership. Okay, so it means that Tony has the permission for Tony directory, and as well as the group or independent group Tony has the permission to access Tony directory. Okay, Unix has the permission to access Unix. Okay, and G1 has the permission to access Unix. So let us change this one as a sudo group, because they are sudo. Okay, so how to change? Same with the adding of users in a group. So you need to execute sudo usermod eg, then the name of the group, and then the name of the user, Tony. Okay, so this is the command on how you're going to put or add users in a group of sudo. Okay? But in this group ownership or ownership, okay, so the command in adding, okay, a group ownership for the file, okay, because the Tony group has only the permission to access of the Tony directory. Okay, so we need to add or give Unix a permission by the use of the group permission or ownership. Okay, ch means change ownership. Okay, from Tony. Okay, so the name of the user, the owner, the name of the user, this one. Then colon, then the name of the group that I want to add in the ownership, the name of the directory or file. So this is the syntax. Change ownership, the owner of the file, the group that will be added as the owner of the file or folder, then the name of the directory or folder, then enter. Change ownership, changing ownership of Tony permission not permitted. So we need to add sudo. Unix is a sudo. Okay, so by using the sudo in the beginning of the command, it will allow the Unix user to execute the command. Okay, so there is no error. So let us check. ls -l. Now the group ownership has now the access of the Tony. Okay, given that Unix is a sudo. Okay, so let us now access Tony. How? cd Tony, permission denied. Why? Okay, so that's the file permission will come in. Okay, so to discuss further about the file permission, because we need to configure this one. Okay, this one. This is the example. Okay, so for example, so we have this one. Okay, how to read. Okay, so when we say D, that is directory. When we say R, that is readable. W, writable or write. X, that means executable. And minus or dash, that is a regular file. And it has a corresponding value or points. For read, we have 4, writable 2, or X 1, and regular file 0. So in this case, in Tony, so we have dr wx. So let's try. This is for Tony file. Okay, so this is for Tony's file. So we have the example of RWX, then 1 2 3 1 2 3. So that means okay, that means there is what they call 6 dash, or what they call characters. Okay, so we have 9 characters plus D, that is 10. Okay, so how to solve this one? Okay, so individually we have D RWX. Okay, then 1 2 3 1 2 3. So let us solve. Like I said, the R has 4 points, W has 2, X has 1. So we have this one. What is the value of R? So we have 4. The value of R, W, 2. The value of X, 1. Okay. Next, what's the value of dash dash? 0 0. So we have 3 dashes, that is 0 times 3, 0. 0 times 3, 0. Okay, so we need to total. What is the total of 4 2 1? 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7. What is the total of 0? 0 and 0. Okay, so we have 700. Take note on how we did this computation. We are just following the scoring system of each action or permission. Okay, so before we proceed, okay, this column tells us what file type, what file we are dealing with. Okay, so D stands for directory. Okay, then this one, so we need to take note of this row or column. So this is specified for the owner, okay, or the user, and this one specified for group, and this one is for the other user. So take note of this. So it means that Tony has the permission to access of its own directory given in this file permission. Okay, because the user has the permission to R, read, then W has writable, and X, execute. How about to let us experiment. Let us put 0. Okay, so let us first return to the Tony user. Sudo issue root issue Tony ls -l. Okay, so we need to ask Tony where I am now. Home. Okay, then ls, let us ask Tony to enter in his own home directory, cd Tony. The command allows Tony to enter in his home directory because the user has the permission to read, write, and execute. How about to change this one into 0? So let us experiment. Do an experiment. Okay, cd dot. Okay, ls cd dot means change directory backwards. Okay, so we need to put this one into dash dash. Okay, 1 2 3, and then this one is 0. So let us do an experiment. Okay, so ch own the command for this in changing file permission is chmod or chmod. Okay, then we need to put 000. Then okay, then the name of the file. Okay, ls. So it means that Tony has no longer access on his own home directory because this file permission configuration tells that Tony has no longer access or cannot read, write, and execute of the Tony home directory. So now let us check if Tony can see available home directory. Tony can see because who am I now? Who am I? Login Tony. Okay, Tony will try to access the home directory Tony. cd Tony. Permission denied. Okay. Why? Because this configuration in file permission tells that the owner has no permission to access. Okay. Now let us return the permission. Okay. chmod 7 00 7 read, write, and execute. Okay, so let us practice the read, write, execute first before we dive into specified permission like reading, write, and execute. So 7 that's equivalent to read, write, and execute. 0 for group and 0 for other users. So the name of the file is Tony. Enter. ls. Okay, now the permission to access for Tony file or directory has returned. Okay, now let us access again the Tony home directory. cd Tony. Okay, enter. pwd. Okay, the command allows the login user Tony to access the Tony directory. Okay, now I'd like to change the group of Unix into sudo because Unix is a sudo. Okay, so given that Tony is a sudo user or has a super user, to execute sudo command, sudo user what we call ch own. Okay, then Unix colon, then the name of the user or group of Unix, the name of the file Unix. Enter. The password of the Tony. No such file or directory. Okay, so ls. What happened? Total okay, so let us do some troubleshooting. Where I am now, sorry, because Tony has in the home /Tony cd that we need to go back ls. Okay, here it is again. Let us repeat our command. Sudo change ownership, the name of the user or the owner, then the group ownership, and then the name of the file or directory. Enter. Then ls -l. Okay, so now a while ago we tried to access a specified file or directory using the user permission. At this time we need to use a group permission. Okay, so given that Tony in Unix has a sudo permission, okay, so Tony is now logged in. Where I am now. Who am I? Tony. Tony will try to access Unix home directory. Again, the owner of Unix is Unix user, and the file permission tells that the only that the user that has a permission to access is the owner only. Okay, the group has no permission. So let us try. Okay, so ls, so Tony will try to access Unix. cd Unix. Okay, permission denied. So let's try to put sudo because Tony is a sudo. Okay, Tony can't access Unix home directory. Okay, let us now give Tony the permission to access Unix home directory by the use of the group permission. Okay, now how to do it? So given that this one, this is for let us now change this one, this one, this is for Unix. Okay, Tony will try to access the permission. Okay, so Unix as d rwx rwx. So the total of this is r7. This is 421. Okay, rwx, read, write, and execute. Okay, so total is 7. Okay, but in this case the group has no permission. Okay, so the challenge is we need to access the Unix home directory by the use of the group permission. So we need to put this one as 7 as well. Okay, so rwx, then 7. Okay, again ls, so Unix has only 7 permission for users, but 0 in group permission. Okay, so we need to give permission for sudo. How? Chmod 770, the file is Unix. Enter. Permission denied. We need to put sudo. Okay, ls. So now in Unix home directory, it tells the user, it tells us that the permission to access the home directory Unix, okay, are the followings: the user, the owner, and the group. The owner is Unix, where I am now, pwd. Okay, ls. Okay, this is Tony, who is currently logged in this Linux. Okay, we'll try to access Unix. A while ago, before we execute this command, changing the permission, Tony cannot access the Unix. But this time, so let's try to access Unix by the group permission. Okay, because sudo or Tony is a member of sudo. So sudo has the permission to access because in the file permission has read, write, and execute in the Unix directory. So cd Unix. Okay. So Tony can now access Unix. Okay. How it possible? Okay. pwd. Okay. So Tony now in the home/Unix directory. Okay. So by giving the group permission to Tony to access the Unix directory, okay, Tony can now read, write, and execute in Unix directory. So how about by going back and Tony will try to access group 1 G1 underscore member 1. So this one. Okay. So let's try. Okay. Why? Because okay. cd that. Okay. ls. Again, let's try to execute. Member 1. Ay, sorry. cd. Change directory to G1 underscore member 1 home directory. Okay, no permission because okay, because the owner, the only person who can access in this file or home directory is the owner. The owner is G1 member 1. Okay, how about to change this one as a sudo? Okay, because by changing directory Tony to G1 underscore member 1 has no permission. How about to change this one as a sudo? Okay, so chmod, chown then G1 underscore member 1 then sudo then again G1 underscore member 1. Okay, no permission, sudo. Okay, ls. Okay, sudo, but cd ls cd G1 underscore member 1, no permission yet. Even we need to put sudo. Okay, because not specified the group permission, so we need to change it. chmod 770 then G1 underscore member 1 sudo and then enter. Alright, then ls. Okay, now sudo has now the permission to access given in this permission to g1 underscore member1 home directory. So cd g1 underscore member1. Okay, so pwd, right? So Tony has now the permission to access the home directory of g1 underscore member1. Okay, so we are now done in user permission, ownership, and okay. So before proceed, how about to remove g1 underscore member1 user as the owner of the g1 underscore member1 home directory. So we need to remove. Okay, so by the way, we need to sudo issue root. Okay, issue g1 underscore member1. Okay, so g1 is now login. Who am I? Okay, g1 underscore member1. So g1 has the permission to access ls. Okay, sorry. pwd. Okay, so cd dot ls. Okay, so g1 underscore member1 has the permission to access the g1 underscore member1 home directory member1 pwd where I am now. Okay, so because going back ls minus l, because of this command, okay, the owner has the privilege to access on his own home directory. But how about to remove the ownership from g1 user? Okay, so we cannot do this because we cannot do this in user g1 member1 because g1 member1 is not a sudo. So sudo issue root, we need to change it. Sudo issue root exit. Sudo issue root exit. Okay, so we need to go to the Tony. Okay, ls cd dot ls. Okay, so we need to remove g1 underscore member1 as the ownership or I mean we need to change the ownership of this file as Tony, for example. Sudo sudo ch own. Okay, sudo change ownership. Okay, what? Tony nga name of the user or the new owner. Okay, the group. Okay, no need to put the group ownership, because the only thing we need to change is the user or the owner. Okay, not the group. Okay, so Tony is the new user or the owner of this file directory. So in this syntax, we need to put g1, the name of the home directory, g1 _ member 1. Okay, Tony. Okay, so ls. So now the new owner of the g1 _ member 1 is Tony. Okay, now I can also log in into this home directory. So cd g1 _ member 1. Okay, pwd. Okay, so the new owner of the file directory is Tony. Now let us try to log in g1 _ member 1 into okay, so let us log in. Sudo su root. Okay, su g1 _ member 1. Permission denied. Because exit su g1 _ member 1. Exit sudo. Okay, permission denied. So g1 _ member 1 has no longer permission to enter in home directory, even to log in. Okay, how about the others? Group 2. Okay, can log in because again cd ls, because of this instance, due to g1 _ member 1 has no longer access on his or her home directory. g1 _ member 1 has no environment or home directory can play with. Okay, so the only thing can g1 _ member 1 can go back is by returning his or her own ownership to the home directory. So let's try. Sudo su. Okay. Sudo specific G1 underscore number 2 exit ratio Tony. Okay, so let us return the ownership. Sudo issue G1 underscore member 1 the file or the home directory, sorry, member 1. Okay, Tony, permission denied. ls sorry, ls. So let us try to return own G1 underscore member 1, the name of the folder member 1. Okay, ls. Okay, so the G1 underscore member 1 is now the owner. Okay, so let us issue member 1, sorry, does not exist. Sorry, meme. Okay, so pwd who am I? Okay, G1 underscore member 1 is now logged in. Then pwd at home ls, going to the home directory, cd G1 underscore member 1 ls, sorry, pwd. Okay, so now it's clear that let us return. Okay, now it's clear that in changing the user ownership of the file, specified the access in its corresponding file or file or directory. Okay, accessing the file and file or directory. Okay, so given in this file permission, it is also clear that by giving the ownership for group for a specified file, okay, given in this file permission, okay, can access the file through read, write, and execute. So how about the others? Because this field tells us that how we can access the file through other users. So what instance can other users can access, okay, can access the directory? Okay, so first we need to check git temp group of users. The available users are Unix, Tony, G1, and so on and so forth. Okay, so how about the other users, like for example add user, Mark, for example Mark, sudo add user Mark. Okay, okay, then check. Okay, Mark is now added. Then ls-l. How about Unix will give the authority to access Mark, okay, even though Mark is not the member of sudo and Mark is not a member of the other groups, okay. Mark is an independent user. So now let us try first if Mark can access Unix without permission. Okay, given in this file permission, it is 00. So sudo issue root. Okay, issue Mark or Mark. Mark is now logged in for mine. Okay, Mark will try to access the Unix home directory. So let's try if Unix user will allow Mark to access the home directory Unix. Okay, so ls, Mark can see that there is available home directory Unix. So cd Unix. So Mark has no permission to access, even though if we put sudo, okay, it is not valid because Mark is not a sudo. Okay, the password, Mark is not in the sudoverse file. Okay, so let us return issue root exit. Okay, then Unix. Okay, so Unix will give permission to Mark to access the home directory of Unix. Okay, so in this case the score or the permission is 0. So how about to configure this as a full? Okay, so port 21 is also 7. Okay, so if we change this one as ch mod, okay, ch mod, then we need to put 777, the name of the file Unix. Okay, Unix. Alright, then ls-l to check the detailed file permission and ownership. Okay, so given in this file permission, owner has the permission to read, write, and execute for the directory. D stands for directory. Then also this one specified in a group. Okay, every user's members in a sudo, because sudo has the ownership of the Unix home directory, can access. Okay, but for the other users not belong to the group, okay, has the permission to read, write, and execute. Mark is not a member of any associated groups like sudo or G1, group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay, Mark is an independent user or a group. Okay, so given in this instance, let's see if Unix will give permission to access Mark. Okay, as he log in the Linux. So who am I? Unix. So let us return. So the issue root. Okay, issue Mark. So let's try. So switch user to Mark. ls list. Okay, Mark can see that Unix is available. Okay, let's see if Mark can enter in Unix by this file permission. Okay, because 7 is the points or value in other users. So cd Unix. So it means that, or let us check first pwd, where I am now at home, and Unix. Who am I? Okay, Linux allows Mark or other users to access the home directory because the file permission tells that owner has the file has the permission to read, write, and execute. Same with group and other users. Okay, so this will tell how you configure in security base with your file. Okay, so if you specify that the other users can read, write, and execute, okay, any users created in Linux can access, but in this case specified group only. Okay, specified group only to access the file or home or directory can only access. Okay, also the owner of the file. Right, so let us go back. ls cd.ls. okay, sorry, -2. Okay, so it's clear that in specifying the file permission to access the file or directory. Okay, So in your case, you need to put for group 1, give a permission for all the group 1 to access in your specified home directory. For example, this home directory for G1 underscore member 1, you need to give permission to group 1, all group 1. Okay, for example, I'll change this one, the group permission. Okay, add the group ownership. So for G1, sudo, okay, I'll return to the root zip. Okay. Sudo chown, then G1 underscore member 1, the name of the group 1 underscore 1, the name of the directory, then review your command if there's an error. Okay, sorry, again, no such file, ls. Sorry, no such file. Okay, ls. G1 is member 1 is now in group 1. Okay, member 2, ls. Okay, 2, then this one, 3, ls. Okay, so you need also to change the group. Okay, and you need to give permission, a group permission for each. Okay, because for example, if you log in group member 2, for example G1 has no permission to access the member 2 and 3 because the file permission specifies or defined that there is no permission to access by the use of the group ownership. Okay, so if we log in, sudo issue u underscore member 1. Okay, who am I? Okay, G1 member 1. So ls. Okay, so let's see, cd G1 underscore member 2, because member 2 is available in the list. So let's see. Okay, G1 underscore member 1, his or her own home directory can access. Okay, because he or she is the owner of the home directory. How about the other home directory of the group? Okay, from member 2 and from member 3. Okay, number 2, no permission. Number 3, no permission. Even if you put sudo, it is invalid because g1 underscore member 1 is not a sudoers. Okay, not in the sudoers file. Okay, that means g1 underscore member 1 has no permission to access the g1 underscore member 2 and 3 home directory. So let us configure that one. Let us go back to the root. Exit. Okay, issue Tony. Tony is a root. Okay, so who am I? Tony. Okay, ls minus l. Okay, so we need to change this one. For group 2 and 3, we will give permission all the members of the group 1 to access, and every home directory belongs to group 1. Okay, so sudo chmod then 770 the file g1 underscore member 2, sudo chmod 770 g1 member. Okay, okay, 3 okay, ls minus l. Okay, now has the permission. So let us return to g1 member 1. Sudo issue root. Okay, issue g1 underscore member 1 member 2, sorry, member 1. Okay, who am I? g1 underscore member 1 will try to access the home directory of the g1 underscore member 2 and 3. Okay, home directory. The owner is the members of the group 1 as well. So let us go to the let us change directory, the group 1 underscore member 1 into home directory g1 underscore member 2 and 3. cd g1 underscore member 2, change directory member 2, enter. Okay, so the command allows g1 underscore member 1 to enter in the member 2 home directory. How about, okay, let us go back. How about 3? Okay, pwd. Okay, so g1 underscore member 1 is now in the home underscore g1 underscore member 3. Okay, because why it happened? Because member 1 is the member of the group 1, and in the file permission it has the permission to read, write, and execute. So now you've learned how to manipulate the file ownership for user and group, and as well as to the uh, file permission for every type of a file, specifying or defining the permission in the owner or the user, into the group, and other users. So in your case, you need to finish this one until group 3. So that's all for now. Thank you.